Guys, say it ain't so. Tell me that a judge is not responsible for the demise of Nolan Wells. Can you dig what I'm saying? Tell me that a judge did not throw a pool party where they're having underage drinking and Nolan Wells was attacked and hit with a stick and met his demise as he was coughing up blood, and then they moved the body. I don't know, man, but things is getting sticky, and it's really starting to make sense over here at keeping it a stack with Coach One Stack, y'all. Hey, man, it's some whole new evidence that's come up in this Nolan Wells case at this pool party, while everybody is sitting here, man, saying that the man met his demise on a boat. Hey, man, we seem to think that it happened at a judge's house. And why wouldn't a judge call the police if this happened? Well, it's easy. You got underage drinking. How can you tell the police, how could you even begin to explain to the police that somebody was beat up? And how would Nolan, and then they would keep Nolan Wells at this house because they don't want him to tell his parents what happened, because that would be a major, major lawsuit against this judge for allowing drinking at her house during this pool party. And this stuff happened to Nolan Wells, man. But I want y'all to check out this video, man, and tell me what you think. Let's get it.
So, new details have been coming out in regards to Nolan Wells and what could have possibly happened to him. And it is now being alleged that he was unalived at a home and that he did not drown and that his body was allegedly placed back on the island. Now, before we get into those details, I do want to back up and share some information about what someone posted in regards to a medium who was talking about what she felt happened. And it definitely lines up with the new allegations that have been circulating online. So let's take a listen and then let me know what you're thinking in the comments below.
One thing that I notice when people make headlines like Nolan Wells, there are people on social media that call themselves psychics or spiritual guides or people that channel energy or say that a person's spirit is speaking through them. And honestly, when I see it, I just kind of like roll my eyes. I feel like it's very insensitive. And I'm also wondering, like, of all the people in the world, why would that person choose you? However, I do believe that there are exceptions to the rules. And I do believe that God definitely gives people gifts that we don't understand, even if all the evidence and everything was right in front of us. So with that being said, a few days ago, I was looking on my timeline. Of course, Nolan is all through everything right now. And it was this Black lady. Her name was, I forgot her first name, but her last name was Woodruff. And she was saying that she was channeling, and I don't even want to put in quotes or anything like that because I don't want to say that her gift is fake or anything like that. But she was channeling Nolan's situation, I will say. She said that he died in a house. It was people that he trusted. He was very naive, that he suffered from blunt force trauma. He was killed instantly, and that his body was hidden in this home and then placed at the site where they found him. And a lot of people were saying a lot of things, the same thing that I was thinking, like they found him where they believe that he drowned. Like what is this information coming from about a house? Like it doesn't make sense that somebody killed him in a house. No, like they already said that he drowned, blah, 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 blah.
Well, and that's the next thing, man. See, when you're dealing with the police, see all that drowning stuff. Hey, this is nothing more than a cover up, because when you're drowning, you have water in your lungs. And the thing is, they have not released his autopsy. They have not released Nolan Wells' autopsy report yet to say whether he drowned or what happened. But I can tell you one thing for certain, two things for sure, and know you heard it on my channel first, that if the state of Mississippi covered up this this deletion of Nolan Wells, and that independent autopsy comes back from Washington, D.C., showing that Nolan Wells was actually somebody put hands on him when he met his demise. Hey, man, it's a whole lot of people that's going to be facing a lot of time in the federal penitentiary, starting with the judge. Now, see, that's what you guys got to understand. Now, all this psychic stuff, I don't believe in that. I think it's fake. I think it's false. I mean, You guys be the judge on that. I don't believe in that stuff. All right, because if you can tell me that, tell me what the Powerball number is. If you are channeling psychic, tell me what the Powerball is, and tell me something else other than when somebody passed away. You dig what I'm saying?
But if you've been watching Good Morning America or anything like that, and you watch the interviews that have come out, his parents said that they had went to this house, and I think the house was on the island. They went to the house to try to find Nolan's keys. And when they went to the house, nobody wanted to answer the door. They finally answered the door. They finally gave him his keys, and then they shut the door. And they didn't want anything to do with the police or the authorities after they shut the door. They wouldn't even let the father come in after he had gotten the keys. So that kind of
now, bam, that right there, that gives you some motive, and that gives you that gives you, that house is what you call a crime scene. Now this is information, guys. This is my first time watching this video, and so being prior law enforcement, that is a big deal. The fact that his keys were left there, they didn't want anybody to come in that house because, apparently Nolan's parents had the 365 app on there where you could track their kids. And so what they should be doing is going back to all his last locations. But I'm thinking it's the judge. You guys tell me in the comments if you think the judge is covering this up, because due to the fact that this did happen at the judge's house. And remember, the judge and Nolan Wells' mother, they're classmates. They grew up together. So these are all friends. I'm not going to say that this is a case of everybody was targeting him because he was black. I believe this was a case of something bad happened, and it was a bunch of illegal substance going on. We already see the drinking in the pool, and now the people get into a fight. The police can't come there because how's the judge going to explain underage drinking and illegal narcotics use at her house? And somebody got injured. But y'all, you tell me what you think.
Had me thinking like, wait, hold up. You know what I mean? So this is where the house is coming into play. And it made me wonder, like, it just made me raise my eyebrow a little bit on, all right. So I'm going to actually add the clips at the end so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. The first clip is her channeling a few days prior to before this information was released. And then I'll show a clip of the father talking about the situation with the house and how the kids were acting weird at the house. They didn't want to let him in and this, that, and the other. So go ahead and watch it and let me know what you think. Got
him in a place where he could not escape. Nolan went straight into panic mode. His cause of death is blunt force trauma to the head. They hit him so hard that he died instantly. There is also matter coming from his head. One thing Nolan did do when he realized that he had some fear and something wasn't right, he tried to play along as if he was cool with them and was going to put up with their shenanigans because they were doing things to him at that moment. But that didn't save him. It was too late. This all happened in a domestic place, meaning somebody's house. And they kept him there until it was quiet and a good time to move his body. Now, the people that actually done this, they had people who know about this and help execute this. That's why I said it's going to be a heavy cover up. What I do see is they're going to try to say there was something wrong with Nolan's mind, that he was not coherent, he was not being himself, he was delusional at some point, probably drunk or under the influence of some type of substance. That is not true.
You went to the home to get the keys. I don't understand, like, what kind of resistance, what was that exchange of words like, the resistance that you received when you went to go retrieve his keys? Thank you.
He just acted like he didn't know where they were. He just he was like he was clueless. He was like, I don't know. I don't well, just please. I was like, just please go in the room and look for me. They sent the keys out. They locked everything. They didn't want nothing to do with what was outside that door. So that right there is, when you lied to me, it killed all trust in anything you had.
Okay, so we heard what the medium said, and we also heard what the father said. And as you can hear him saying that they locked the door, they didn't seem like they wanted them to come in the house. To me, that is very suspicious when someone you claimed was your friend is missing, and everybody's just acting oblivious and at home sleeping. But there's a young lady who made a comment online yesterday, and what she says somewhat correlates to what the medium said. She said, "Bro, no," and that's Nolan. His mother did confirm that that was the nickname they had for him. She said he didn't get into a fight at the island, it was our other friend. She said no, and Wyatt did get into an altercation right after that, not even 10 minutes later, because Wyatt took his phone and Evan was trying to be hard. Nolan was definitely screaming, "Give me my effing phone back, Ninja. What the H is wrong with you?" So they all calmed down.
Now, guys, y'all see this? Here's the problem right here. See this right here? Give me my phone back, Ninja. What the hell wrong with you? See, Nolan was sitting up here hanging around with a bunch of white boys that they were comfortable using the N-word with. Now, I don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure out that if he was using that word towards them, they was calling him a ninja as well. See, let that be a lesson to you young UYNs out there, man. Stop being the only black person hanging out in these groups, because at the end of the day, man, you're still going to be called a ninja. He's calling them a ninja. You dig what I'm saying? So now y'all tell me in the comments if y'all think that they were calling that, that they had a habit of calling Nolan ninja, because the thing is, by taking his phone, see, as a grown man, being grown man behavior, we don't take each other's phone. Man, if somebody took my phone, man, they going to sleep. Can you dig it? Hey, man, but see, kids play like that. And it looks to me from looking at the pictures and stuff that Nolan might have had a little bit of self-esteem, and that he was the one that people picked on, being the token black. But hey, man, you see it right there in black and white. He was calling them ninjas, so I can guarantee you this is a case where some Caucasians were comfortable with calling Nolan the N-word. Tell me what you guys think in the comments.
So that's when we head to Evan's house because he was throwing a pool party. So yes, Nolan, no, came to the party, and yes, we was drinking. But Wyatt and Evan and Morgan and Andrew was really high. And I think they were trying to get Lucy and Natalia to try some as well. But yes, they got into it again at the pool party.
Now, check that pool party. Now, I need you guys to understand this. This is what's so prolific about this party. This is at the judge's house. Guys, this is at the judge's house. So I could show you a bunch of reasons why, this is bad. We got alcohol back here. This is a judge who is paid to uphold the law more than anyone, more than the police, more than the district attorney. So we got right here in plain sight, the judge is letting a underage pool party take place, right, with alcohol, right? Now, Nolan is wrong. Guys, I know y'all ain't gonna want to hear this, but you're supposed to be 21 when you drink. Have we all done it before? Of course we have, but it only has to happen to you one time, as you see in Nolan Wells' case. Now, you see how they got their arm around Nolan right here? That is some dominating behavior. Man, you don't put your arm around another man unless you're trying to son him, or you think very low of him, or Nolan is going to what? I mean, honestly, Nolan, like he just wants to be one of the guys and be accepted. But brother, you're not Caucasian. Can you dig it? And now right here, we got this guy right here. He's 34 years old. What is he doing in the pool with these kids? These are children. So the judge is having a party. The judge can't even call the police if something happens because she's breaking the law, and God forbid she lose her seat or go to jail. But let me be the first one to tell you, when this comes out, this judge will face federal charges for oppression under the color of law. Those are federal charges, and she'll get some state charges as well.
It didn't end until almost 1 a.m. I'm going to stop right there because the timing is somewhat off. Now, I don't know whether or not they were still partying when they notified, Nolan's mom, because I believe she was notified at 11 p.m. that night. So as far as that time, that 1 a.m. time, I'm not sure how that comes into play. But let's go on. She says, I know Evan's mom kicked us all out. Once they started fighting, it was Andrew and Evan and Wyatt and Warren was basically recording and laughing, saying, get him, get him. And all I could hear was No screaming, Mom. Now, she then goes on to say, so yes, I tried helping. Then his mom comes out screaming, yelling drunk, makes us leave, and was saying she was going to call the cops on us if we didn't leave her house. But they didn't let No leave, and No was by the basketball goal that was inside the pool. He was leaning over beside it, gasping for air and spitting up blood. Now, I'm going to stop here because this photo was posted by Evan. And a lot of people, were pointing out that they do see Nolan in this photo and that he also deleted this picture off of his Instagram account after they came out with their stories. And so allegedly, you've got a drunk mother and drunk and high boys and a young man that is no longer with us. So this young lady did say, but now his mom knows. I just got off the phone with her. So someone else commented and responded to her. They said, if you saw something that occurred related to this case, I hope you notified the police. She said, obviously I did. That's how they got his phone because I called.
Oh,
And his phone and keys was on top of his Xbox. That's why they requested him to have a private autopsy. Because once they came, and it cut off right there, so I wasn't able to see the rest. But someone asked her, how did his body get discovered on the island? You're saying they beat him up at the pool. Why wait till now to tell his mother? She said his mother knew, ma'am. I've been told her. Yes, Andrew was trying to keep us quiet and trying to put fear to us because he's bigger than all of us. But I told No's mom, and that's why the private autopsy was made. But yes, it was a big fight at Evan's house at the pool the same night. But yes, Wyatt and Andrew and Evan was jumping him after Evan's mom threatened to call the cops on everybody to leave her house. Now, someone said, wow.
now you see that? Now I hope you guys see that. Now I hope you guys see that where they're saying that these three men were jumping him at a judge's house. So let's get this straight. A judge, people, a judge is already having an illegal party with underage drinking and narcotics, right? She's watching Nolan get jumped by three people. He meets his demise. They don't even call 911. And then later on, his body is put on a beach. Guys, I need you to understand something. The kids are responsible, but the judge is just as responsible for the demise of Nolan Wells as any of those boys, because number one, it's her house. She's a judge, so they're gonna look at her a little bit different. And the fact that they all lawyered up, y'all. Because man, if you didn't do anything, you don't need to lawyer up. But God, this is gonna end bad. I'm telling you off the rip, it's gonna end bad.
They said, I hope the truth will come to light and Nolan gets the justice he deserves. She responded, ma'am, my brother's going to get justice. She said, the truth is out. They took him back to the island that Monday morning around 4 a.m. They found him, I think, 8 or 9 a.m. I can show you the picture as well. She said, I would tell you to go look at it, but Evan deleted the picture Sunday. So, after hearing all of this alleged information, let me know what you're thinking about this. Like I said, this is not confirmed facts. From my standpoint, it is all alleged.
And that's the thing right there, y'all. That's the thing right there. I mean, that's it. I mean, we got this new evidence that has come through showing that he was in fact at this judge's house. A judge, not just a regular person. He was at a judge's house at a party, jumped, met his demise. They said he was struck with the pole, right? He probably had internal bleeding, internal damage, hemorrhaging. Your guys, being an ex-law enforcement, man, I've seen a lot of people get a lot of head injuries. The judge can't report it because to report it, that means that she's going to go to jail. So, guys, I want y'all to tell me in the comments how you really feel about this video, how you really feel about this case, and if you guys want me to do a live to really break down this law, you know, in detail. Other than that, man, like, comment, and subscribe to the video, man, and stay safe out there. And remember to be blessed. Don't ever get stressed. Make sure you never get finessed like Nolan Wells did, and get plenty of rest. Church, man, y'all have a blessed day.